Welcome to our video lesson on finding the area of rectangles and triangles. The first thing before we can talk about how to calculate the area is you need to know what area means. Area is the number of square units a figure or the figure contains. For example, if you look at our pictures down here, this one down here shows the area. It's the amount of space inside, the number of square units the figure contains. This one is not the area. The distance around the outside is the perimeter, not the area. Something that's really important is that in the definition of area, it says square units. Hopefully that raises a flag in your mind that our units, so for example centimeters or inches, for area will always be centimeters squared and inches squared. That's because the space it fills up isn't flat like the perimeter, isn't just going around the outside. It's actual space inside the figure. So we measure it by centimeters on one side and centimeters on the other, and when we multiply them together, we have to get centimeters squared. Alright, let's talk about how to find the area of a rectangle. The formula or the equation for finding the area of a rectangle is up here. Area equals length times width. You need to write down that L stands for length and W stands for width. Alright, I'm going to show you how to use the formula. So we have A is equal to L times W. You always need to write that formula whenever you're doing this. Then we're going to line up our equal sign, so A is equal to L times W. Well, what's my length here? My length is 70 feet, so I'm going to write A is equal to 70 times my width of 25. So all I've done is, instead of writing L and W, I've written my length and my width. Now I need to actually find it, so what's 70 times 25? 5 times 0 is 0. Oh. So 5 times 0 is 0, and 7 times 5 is 35. Then we add our ghost 0 down here. 2 times 0 is 0, and 2 times 7 is 14. Now I'm going to add them all together. 0 plus 0 is 0, 5 plus 0 is 5, 3 plus 4 is 7, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So that means that our area is equal to 1,750. Now we need to write our units. Well, we saw that our rectangle is measured in feet on one side and feet on the other side. Now when we multiply the two sides together, it's like multiplying feet times feet. And hopefully you remember from our exponent work that this is equal to feet to the power of 2, or feet squared. So that means that our area of our rectangle will be measured in feet squared. Let's do a few more examples. Our next example is for this rectangle, which is a special type of rectangle. It's a square. We know it's a square because both sides are the same length. We do it exactly the same way. Start by writing our formula. A is equal to L times W. And it doesn't matter which one's which, because they're both the same. And it doesn't matter either way, so I'm just going to write A is equal to 4 times 4. And 4 times 4 is 16. And now I need my units. They're measured in inches, so it's going to be 16 inches squared. Try doing the next one on your own. Press pause and do it on your own. Then click play and see if you got it right. So I'm going to write my formula. A equals L times W. A is equal to the length, which is 9, times the width, which is 4. And 9 times 4 is 36. It's measured in feet, so we have 36 feet squared. And the last one down here, we don't have a picture for this one. They didn't give us a rectangle, but it gives us the information we need. Length equals 12 inches and width equals 7 inches. So I'm going to write my formula. A equals L times W. A equals 12 times 7. Then I'm going to multiply 12 times 7 on the side. If you can do it in your head, no problem. 2 times 7 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So we know that our area is 84 inches squared. And that's it for finding the area of rectangles. Now we're going to talk about finding the area of a triangle. The area of a triangle is a little bit harder than the area of a rectangle, but it's the same idea. Our formula, or our equation for the area of a rectangle, is that the area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. This is similar to the formula for a rectangle, and we'll talk about why it's so similar a little bit later, but right now you just need to know how to use it. Here's our triangle down here. We have 10 meters as our height. The triangle we're trying to find the area of, I'll outline it in pink, is this whole triangle out here. The blue line in the middle that measures 10 meters is actually just the height of our triangle, as you can see here. This is just our, I'll use a different color. This is just our height. It's not a part of the triangle. What we're doing is we're going to write our formula. A is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. And we're going to substitute in our numbers. So our base here is equal to 30. So instead of writing B, I'll write 30. And then I can write times h divided by 2 if you want. And then we can write the next one, 30. Now what's h? Our h is 10. So we have 30 times 10 divided by 2. Now I've run out of space down here. So I'm going to put a little arrow to go up here. Write my next equal sign up here. Now 30 times 10 is 300. So now we have 300 divided by 2, which is equal to 150. If you want to check that, we'll do it on the side. 300 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 once. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract that. 3 minus 2 is 1. Bring down the 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. 0. How many times does 2 go into 0? 0 times. So our answer is 150. Now it's not just 150, it's area, so it's 150 meters squared. Even though it's a triangle, we measure it in the same units because it's area. Alright, let's do a few more examples. Find the area of each triangle. This triangle looks a little different. We're trying to find the area of the triangle that's outlined in black, and this dotted line here, right here, is showing us the height of the triangle, because the height isn't actually shown on this triangle without it. First thing we're going to do is write our formula. A is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. The base is 7 times our height of 9 divided by 2. 7 times 9 is 63 divided by 2. Okay, we're going to do this by hand. 63 divided by 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract that, get a 0. Bring down our 3. 2 goes into 3 once. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract it, get 1. Now is when you have to decide what you're going to do. You're not going to be able to just write a remainder. So we're going to add a decimal point here. Decimal point, and add a 0. Then we're going to bring that 0 down. How many times does 2 go into 10? 5 times, and 5 times 2 is 10, so we subtract that and get 0. So our area is 31 5/10 of a meter squared. Let's do one last example. Our area is equal to our base times our height divided by 2. In this situation, our base is 16 centimeters long, so I'm going to write 16 times our height of 5, all divided by 2. 16 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So now we have 16 times 5 gives us 80 divided by 2. Now 80 divided by 2, I can do that in my head, but if you want to do the work on the side, you can. But I know that 80 divided by 2 is 40. And so our area is 40 centimeters squared. That's all for now. If you want to go back and rewatch any part of it, go for it. Otherwise, get started on your practice. I'll see you later.